Good morning. I am so excited to introduce our musical guest, the incredible Nina Grae. You've heard her before, her beautiful voice. And Nina is a California native. She's a singer, songwriter, producer. She's also a creative uh, group facilitator using music and multimedia works to honor the spirit of love in all its forms. And you're going to hear her beautiful style today through her song, and she's speaking today. So we get double the yumminess from this amazing artist. And with that, I'm going to pass it to you, Nina.
Thank you so much, Beth. Good morning to everyone gathering here. I'm going to start with a song called Bloom. And I know we're headed into a winter season, but we can keep that eternal summer and fire lit within to everything that we're growing and visioning for the spring. So this is a song, Bloom, to center that birth of vision and ideas and joy and happiness in you. Come lay down your burdens. Oh, come lay down the weight. Let go of all demons right here where it's safe. Let go of what could be and what should have been and what is not. Loosen your grip on tomorrow and find peace with what you got. 'Cause you got the whole world. You got the whole world. You got the whole world inside you, just waiting to bloom. Oh, let those tears flow like water. Let the salt heal your skin. Bless your mother and your father for the body that you're walking in. Feel the light through the window. Feel the heartbeat of the trees. So many places our pretty mind wanders, but time, it stops when we breathe. We take a deep breath in together and hold it and hold it and hold it and release. 'Cause you got that whole world. You got that whole world. You got the whole world inside you, just waiting to bloom. eternal spring, forever summer, infinite fall is calling out for winter songs, for winter songs, eternal spring, forever summer, eternal fall is calling out for your song, your song, your song, your song. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Nina. Yeah, it's just so beautiful. So grateful that our paths have crossed and that you said yes to doing the talk today. I mean, sometimes you get to a point where you just go, let's just be. let's just be right here. So if you're here with us today, like, just take a moment to really anchor in and find yourself a comfortable little spot to allow the music and the message that Nina has planned for you today to come to you like an easy breeze. These rare and wonderful opportunities to speak about God are to be savored. You know, they're really to be savored and not rushed through. So welcome everybody. Let me pass this to Beth Gordon, who's going to introduce our guest.
Good morning. So if you were here right at the beginning, you already got a taste of this gorgeous voice that is Nina Grae, and her music and her message honor the spirit of love in all its forms. And Nina's fusion of acoustic soul music with folk stylings, it struck a chord with listeners worldwide, and with themes of unity and compassion weaving throughout all of her original works. So she's not just an amazing singer, but she writes this music too. And she's opened for such amazing spiritual teachers as Reverend Michael Beckwith, Marianne Williamson, the poet In Q, and the conservationist Jane Goodall. And today she opened for Nina Grae. And she has over 150 original music videos in her digital medicinal music cabinet. And she's currently working on her 4th studio release, which will be released sometime soon. And today we get to hear her speaking voice and then more of her singing voice on this beautiful message of love, compassion, and unity. Welcome, Nina Grae.
Thank you so much, Beth. And thank you, Maureen. So supremely honored and happy to be here in this Come to Mama series for H, which is happiness, and a space that I feel so grateful to speak upon. And I know so many of us that are here today have been students of the law of attraction or have watched The Secret, and we know that we're all living in the perpetual outcome of the thoughts and visions that we've held in the past. We're always experiencing this now moment as a compilation of what we were thinking. So what does that mean for us right now? We're all doing a really good job, because somewhere we seeded that we would be in spiritual community in an uplifted environment of love on this Sunday morning, maybe afternoon or evening where you are. So give yourself on the pat on the back and just really know that you're seeding beautiful things in your soul, because you made it here. You're already winning. And in the celebration of this moment and the spirit of happiness, I really just want to bring in this idea of, what is it? What isn't it? How do we cultivate more of it? And how do we ultimately become emanations of it? I'm not here with definitive answers or magical, mystical potions or equations, but I am here to share a story that's close to my heart and some wisdom from role models and teachers that have shaped my journey, and an invitation to stay curious and open-hearted and open to that frequency of happiness, whether you've experienced it looking in a baby's face, or you feel it when your dog is licking yours, or you see the first snow, or the smell of rain. What is it for you? And can you bring it in here now? We're going to start with a story of how music started to percolate its way into my life. I'm 5 years old. I'm in first grade, and I love to sing. In the tub, in my room, in the backseat of my mom's car, when I'm shoveling up kitty poops from the chores that I had to do to clean out the litter box. I'm always singing. And when I heard about an invitation to do a talent show in my school, there was a divine yes that was born in me. Excitement, love, yes. Naturally, I had to sing my favorite song from my favorite movie, which was Part of Your World from The Little Mermaid. And I am curious, by a show of hands, who knows that song? Yeah. Okay. Hands. Carly, Shannon, Maureen, yes. If I can't see your screen, but you're raising your hand, thank you very much. And if by know it, I don't mean like you know all the words, but you've heard of that song and you know it. Yeah, you can raise your little icon too if your screen is off. Okay, so we're going to do a practice right now. You can mute your mic or you can unmute your mic. I'm putting the words here in the chat, and we're going to go for it in 3, 2, 1. Look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? Wouldn't it make my collection
complete?
Wouldn't you think I'm the girl who has everything? I've got gadgets and gadgets of plenty. I've got a who's this and what's it galore. You want thingamabobs? I've got 20. But who cares? No big deal. I want more. Yay! Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for the participants that were singing. I heard you and I loved it. If you had your voice on mute, but you were still singing, thank you. Right? If you were singing right now, will you just share a word or two about how you felt singing, how that experience was for you? I know I loved it. I'm going to type in the chat, I loved it.
I felt connected and silly and joyful.
Thank you. Thank you for your voice. Connected, silly, joyful. Yes. So happy, joyful. Yes. Yes. Free. Doesn't know what it is, keeps rolling. Yes. Okay, yes. Thank you for your participation. And I want to ask for those that maybe did raise your hand and perhaps you didn't sing. There is no shaming or blaming or right or wrong answers, only honest ones. But I will ask, what was it that stopped you? Is there any hesitation here in this room? Or were we all just diving in, which is beautiful too? These moments to embrace the moment that is in front of us, calling us into an opportunity to experience happiness. They pass us every day, multiple times a day. And it's this willingness, like there was in the Speakeasy community this morning, to say yes, to jump in and to meet the moment that often creates these spaces of happiness. Nothing we can buy or seek outside of ourselves, but what we can summon within ourselves to say yes, to welcome it. So perhaps this morning you said yes, but perhaps there are some mornings or afternoons or evenings where the opportunity to embrace happiness is there, and there is a hesitation, or there's a turning away, or there's a thinking into the future or the past. And there's a Zen phrase that I love that says, watch how someone does something and it will show you how they do many things. And I know in my life there have been many times where I have turned away from what was in front of me because I thought there would be a better moment or a better time. And often there is not. There's just now. So as we kind of sit and perhaps think about what are the moments that we do turn away from or don't share our voice or think that there is a better moment in the future, I want to bring us back to the first grade talent show, and specifically what I was doing in preparation for this moment with my mom's help, of course. Before that big day, we were cutting colored paper fish to hang from strings from the stage before the performance. And we found this beautiful yellow and turquoise sequined onesie leotard that looked like flounder that I could wear. And we also played the song over and over in my home, and I was loving to sing along with it morning, noon, and night. I'm sure my family was not as appreciative of the fact that song was playing 24 hours, but it was my joy, and it was love and excitement for the big night of the performance. And that was the preparation that was going on in my spirit and my soul. And what wasn't happening at 5 years old in first grade in preparation for this was not weeks of wondering if I was good enough to do this. I wasn't rehearsing scenarios of me bombing out in my head, and I definitely wasn't stressing about what my butt was going to look like in that blue and yellow turquoise leotard. I heard this phrase, worry is a misuse of imagination, and I know a lot of times we have this beautiful, incredible, miraculous operating system in between our ears, and we get to use it for all of these wonderful purposes, but worry tends to be the space it occupies when we're not filling it with excitement or anticipation or the spirit of God, the spirit of love. So may we all reclaim that divine imagination that then provides more moments of happiness in our now experience and leading up to what we love, with the experience of love and excitement felt here and now, is such a beautiful way to pre-pave the road to what we will experience then. Worrying now is not going to create a better future scenario. Experiencing love now, experiencing excitement and joy now only seeds future moments that are infused with those same energetic vibrations. So you're probably thinking, that sounds great. That sounds really nice, but we all live in the real world sometimes, and that's not always so easy. If it was so easy, we'd do it all the time, right? Of course, we're human. We go in and out of this ability to harness the vibration that brings us into joy and bliss and wonder. So I want you to take a moment and think about who you were at 5. Let's give it a few minutes and just close your eyes and take that inner gaze into that 5-year-old self of yours. What did you love? If you asked the adults around you, what could they always find you doing for hours? Feel free to write it in the chat. Or if you want to unmute and share it, please, you're welcome to.
I'm going to share if that's okay.
Please.
Thank you, because you brought up just such a beautiful memory where I used to do this Indian spoon dance that I have no idea where it came from. But
Yes.
every now and then I'd ask everybody to stop because I wanted to do my Indian spoon dance, and it involved me just whirling and twirling with 2 teaspoons.
Ah,
I
they
don't
like
know what
to
it
click
was.
them together.
But it was so in spirit and inspired, and it would just move through me. And one other thing came to mind as well, which is one of my most precious memories. I just loved clothes so much, and I still do. And my mum one time made me wear this wine cardigan going to school. I was 4 years old, but we lived very near the school, so my friend and I used to walk hand in hand to school and home again. And walking home from school, I threw my cardigan in over a ditch into a field and came home and told my mother, it was lost, it was gone, couldn't find it. And I just love the spirit of that kid that said, I'm not wearing that cardigan anymore, I hate it.
It got lost.
It got lost. I told her years later, but I can feel that sort of feistiness, and I love that. Yeah. Thank you,
Yes.
Nina. Thank you for igniting those memories.
Oh, thank you, Mia. Thank you for your feistiness. And maybe thank you for your spoon dance if you ever want to share that with the group too. I'm here for it. Oh, I love this too. Singing, dancing, and running around the neighborhood. Carly, I see you have yourself unmute.
Yes, thank you so much, Nita. That was such a fun exercise to sing that song with you.
Yes, I
Oh,
love
I
singing
loved
music with
it
you.
every minute. And at 5, I was dancing as well. And I'll never forget that my mother drove me from the outskirts of the city way downtown. And we walked up an elevator and stairs, and there was a woman there. And I just looked up and said, there's a woman who cares about my dance.
Yes.
And she had built huge blocks that with an incline that you could run up to get to a different height. And she wanted you to go into your own space. And then most of all, she gave us ginny gowns. So they would have been an old English with a top, and seersucker. They were a beautiful seersucker, and you could choose your color, and I chose light blue, and they were the best for twirling. Yes, we were both. I mean, you could just go in the circle and the whole dress would just flare out. The skirt would flare out, and yes,
I
just,
can
and
picture your little self just spinning.
And I remember my parents had a party, and I just barely thought of this. And they had a friend, Betty Yor, and they were entreating me to come and dance. And I was too shy and embarrassed in front of the whole group. And she said, if you only knew how much it would mean to us if you would dance. And I did.
Yes, she did.
So,
Yes. Oh, thank you, Carly.
thank you
Oh.
for helping me return to that 5-year-old. And
Oh.
thank you, Maureen, because everything I needed was provided.
Ooh, as it always is, as it always is. Thank you, Carly. And thank you for those who shared too in the chat, playing in the garden, chasing butterflies, playing plastic horses with my best friend Mary. A huge imagination where I went anywhere I wanted without leaving Michigan at the time. Now I still have that imagination and wander as I must. Yes, Shannon. I love to daydream, sing and dance, singing and dancing, running around the neighborhood. Yes, daydreaming, singing, dancing, and drawing circles. Nothing has changed. Oh, that's it. You know, before anyone tells us who we should be or what we should do, we know we have these emanations of spirit so alive within us. We've heard that phrase, happiness is our birthright. And I do truly believe it's how we're ushered into this world, wrapped in this cocoon and Holy Spirit of happiness, of joy, of wonder, of curiosity, born from this eternal, timeless dimension of God, and perhaps returning to it when we leave this plane and remembering as many times as we can that that's who we innately are during this lifetime. Michael Beckwith, a teacher that I have received such inspiration from throughout my lifetime, shares in this meditation, vibrate in your knowing, that as we walk through the world with the knowing that life is on our side and God is on our side and all of the power of the universe is on our side, it becomes our personal law. And it begins to drown out the voice that worries what other people are thinking of us. And it allows the fundamental song emanating from our own heart to spill forward. If you look at a child in their joy, in their play, they're the least self-conscious little beings. They are singing, and dancing, and embracing the moment of life as it comes because they're here. They're here in the now moment. And what if our unhappiness isn't anything we're doing or we don't have or we haven't achieved yet? Perhaps our unhappiness is just a simple forgetting to be here, to be present to the joy and the wonder that exists all around us, forgetting that we are the light. First-hand happiness can only be experienced now. We can get second-hand happiness from memories of the past that were great and visions of the future that might bring us some first-hand happiness. But the happiness, the essence, the gold, the nectar of happiness is always and only right here, right now. So perhaps you have thought about spending a little more time than you'd like in the past or the future, forgetting or disconnecting briefly from this vibrating, alive field of happiness that exists here in the present. Congratulations, you're human. And I want you to carry and call upon the spirit of your 5-year-old. If you have a picture in your home, or maybe it's tucked away in your garage in a box, sometime today I invite you to pull out that picture of your younger self and put it somewhere where you work and where you live and go through your daily habits and routines to remember that that's where you came from. That may be where you return, and it's who you are underneath who you have to be or should be. Bringing forth that lack of self-consciousness and that playfulness and creativity and joy. That spirit is there for you. Always, always. The bridge to happiness does exist, and it longs to bring you back home, back here, back to the heart, back to the eternal knowing of everything. Joy, love, peace, embracing of the full spectrum of life from this now moment, and the remembrance that the kingdom of heaven is really, truly within you. Recently, I watched the movie Soul. And by a raise of hands, have y'all seen the movie Soul? Whew. I was a puddle of tears and inspiration. And I want to close out this share on happiness and this pondering with a song that came through after watching this movie called Curtain Call. I hope you enjoy. I know you've been racing to the goal line. I know you've been waiting for your break. I know you've been dodging all these landmines. And some nights you don't know how much you can take. I know you can feel like you're getting older, and your life is slowly fading by the day. I know that weighs heavy on your shoulder, and I know it don't have to be that way. 'Cause if you look up, you can hear the sounds of laughter. If you look up, you'll catch the stars and leaves that fall. And if you just reach out your hand, you will learn to feel again. If you keep on racing, you might miss it all. You might miss it all. Whoa, whoa. I know this mad world has got you thinking that happiness means he who has the most. Don't be fooled by those old lies, child, it's all a big disguise. Somewhere deep inside you already know that if you listen close, you'll hear the sounds of laughter. And if you look up, you'll catch the stars and leaves that fall. And if you just reach out your hand, you will learn to feel again. But if you keep on racing, you might miss it all. Why you running so fast, babe, to that curtain call? Oh, 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 oh. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's been a joy to share this moment of happiness with you. I hope you really find those 5-year-old pictures today and bring them forth, and with it the spirit and vibration of happiness into your now moments. Thank you so much.
Did I not tell you that this was going to be a slice of Christmas morning pie where we get to eat candy for breakfast? Thank you, Nina Grae. That was amazing.
Thank you, Maureen.
Love it. And now is the opportunity for you to share what is true for you. And if you have thoughts or questions, actually, wait, before we do that, Mari is going to share our giving link and a few events that are coming up. So let's do that. Yeah.
Yes, welcome everyone to our virtual community. Staying in that theme of happiness, if there's something that you love to do that really lights you up, Speakeasy is putting together the Speakeasy salons. They will launch in January. So I invite you to find that thing that really sparks, brings that spark to you, and join a salon. There will be a link in our website, and then you can put there what it is that really you want to bring forth in 2022 for you that will bring you that happiness. So I invite you to do that on December 12th, Sunday, December 12th. We have Christmas Carol. It's going to be an in-person event. If you're in the Illinois area, Chicagoland area, it's going to be at 5 p.m. There's a love donation suggested. That will be going to Beth's Plus. And we invite you to join that as well and stay in community. This upcoming Tuesday at 7 p.m., we have Ho'oponopono. It's a wonderful way to just go in and go into forgiveness, clear it all out, start the new year like fresh and new. That is at 7 p.m. Central. And Amy Anderson leads that. We have on Thursday nights, we have Sacred Sanctuary, led by Jeannie Laporte. And if you really need to just melt the day away, that is a great place to go and be in that virtual moment and just close out your day. It's fantastic. Throughout the week, we have other offerings. We have 2 12 steps, 2 ACIM. We have a full calendar that goes on. All these classes and events are possible through the generous donations of everyone who's here. Your financial support really allows us to bring new classes, new events, all for free, all virtual, that you can access. If you go to Speakeasy, spiritualcommunity.com, all of our classes and events are there. You can find the links to these classes and the times within your time zone. There will be a link in the chat where you can make those donations. And if at this moment you're like, I'm not sure what I can give, we invite you to just go within and see what is yours to give. If at this moment, you're like, oh, I'm not sure, then you can go into our website. There is a donation link there within our website as well. And so we invite you to see what is yours to give into this new year and just engage in our classes. It will really anchor you throughout the week to continue in your spiritual journey. Thank you. And I pass it back.
Thank you. Thank you. Love it. So let's bring, there she is, Nina. I loved the conversation, love the invitation into our child and the things that used to light us up. And I love that song that you're saying, like, don't rush to the curtain call. Because for me, as an artist, as an actress, the curtain call means it's over. And it's fun to like bow, but like it is the end of play. It's like when your mom rings the bell and she's like, come home for dinner. And you're like, wait, we're in the middle of this. You know what I mean? Like, remember when you were like playing like Fort, or like you like totally got into your games and you like, were like, no, like eating was no longer an interest to you because you were so invested in playing. And oh man, like if you found like a refrigerator box, you had now a kingdom. I mean, the things that you could do as a kid, right? So I loved the memory of that. I loved being reminded of that. And I love knowing that we can continue to nurture and celebrate and court that, because it's the threshold of innovation. That imagination is a threshold of innovation. So thank you so much for turning up the conversation this morning. It's beautiful, just beautiful.
Yes.
First of all, thank you so much for that beautiful message. And I love the invitation into the 5-year-old. And I actually have a particular relationship with my 5-year-old. So I was like, oh, of course it's the 5-year-old. So, I was super joyful. Like all when I was born and growing up, my mother used to say things like, even when you were crawling as a baby, before you could even walk, we had a lot of music in our house. She's like, you'd be crawling with your diaper and your little butt was like moving to the beat of the music. It's like you were dancing before you could even stand, And so by the time I was 5, I was dancing like with my dolly and, very joyful. And when I was 5, that's when my parents got divorced. So this was like the first idea of like separating from God, separating from joy. And there were so many shifts and changes that like energetically, I basically put my dolly down and stopped dancing. So it was like that invitation back to that freedom, to that connection to joyfulness, to happiness. And, there's so many different ways in which we can forget that.
Right. And
so, to be called back into that, to be reminded of it, like, thank you for your part in that. And I was like, I'm going to go find that picture of the 5-year-old and I'm going to tell her, pick that doll back up again. You don't need to use anything to separate. Yeah, it may seem really serious on one level, and on another level, staying connected to that joyfulness is going to bring you through all that. So, and that speaks to the innovation. It speaks to staying in a state of resourcefulness and remembering that that joy is here for us all the time. So thank you for reminding us in your beautiful talk and your incredibly gorgeous music that you sing today. Thank you.
I just want to speak on too, you bring up such a powerful thread of societally, the joy and the happiness or the dancing can be that item that's on the list of things to do, but can easily get bumped off if the others run over or we just don't have enough time. And what you presence is so beautiful. Like, wow, that spirit of joy is in us. Like, it's a non-negotiable, making these things a non-negotiable. So when we go about our day and our life and our interactions with our families and our friends, we're in that spirit of joy and happiness because we intentionally brought it in to infuse all of the other moments, not to get to after we get all the other important things done.
Well, we have a dancing queen that hosts a class every Friday at 7:30 Central Time, where we do dance, and it's just impromptu dance, and it's medicine. I wonder why more people don't show up to that. It's usually like 10 people there, but I'm like, who wouldn't want to like make an appointment to dance together? And even though we're separate and we're in these boxes, but I was wondering, like, when you invited people to remember what lit them up as children, did anybody have something outside the box of like singing, dancing, and imagination? Because one of the memories that came up for me was I remember being in kindergarten drawing circles. And I remember that the teacher was like, draw a circle. And I was like, drawing circles are hard. And I was like, and I was making these awkward circles. And then I was like, well, I've drawn many suns before and many like people's heads. And that's all I have to do is draw a head. And I drew these excellent circles. And I remember thinking, like, I'm a good circle drawer. I know that sounds crazy, but when I wrote it in the chat, I was thinking, that's still what I'm doing. I draw circles, I draw people into circles. So I wonder if there's anything that came up for people that might actually be a breadcrumb of what they're designed to do. And I just wanted to place that question out there. Yeah, go ahead. Somebody has their hand up. Oh, there you go.
It's
Hi,
me. I remember my sister, who's only 11 months and a few days older than me, playing with her and carrying her doll around for her because she had a doll and stuff. And I had a little stuffed dog. Actually put it in the chat. But it was just so much fun. We just, because our older sisters and brothers, we were kind of the last like 8 to 10 years, 12 years older than us. And so we played with each other mostly. We're almost like twins and stuff. So I remember playing with her a lot of times, swinging and just having fun. Playing on the swings was one of my favorite things.
Hi, Mia. I'm sure you were the queen of play with your spoons.
I loved playing, and I had a very big and creative imagination. But one of the things I think I shared, in one of the groups one Sunday or at some point, but we used to play mass and dress up as priests, and like draw big crosses on the front of sheets. And sometimes it was a black plastic bag with a stuck on cross, and use egg cups as chalices. But I think it was just that, sense of importance and delivering something that, like, I know there was aspects of the mass that I loved and that were very beautiful. And there's a lot I, threw away later in life. But it was just this sense of, like, I can, stand up here and change. Now, my only audience was my best friend, and we'd swap around. And then it'd be her turn to be the priest, and I'd be the person sitting. And, we'd be kneeling down in front of one another. And, signs on, years later, just getting an opportunity, like you opened this conversation today, Maureen, to get to talk about God in peace and with ease and grace, and in a way that resonates with every fiber of your being, and to talk about motherness and goddess, and however it comes through on a particular day. That's what I love, that it doesn't always have to even have the same name. And to be gifted that. And so I think she, the little one, was getting ready somehow for that. And of course always loved being center stage in some way or other. So so thank you, because you opened that door.
I love that she played church and mass. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's so great, right? To not take life so seriously. Like, there's something so good about that. I know the Irish are great about it. There's always the crack going on, but like it's a thing. I think that when we stop playing, we start getting old. So yeah. Anybody else have anything they want to share?
I do. I feel like when I was a kid, I also gave people many opportunities for forgiveness, because I would take the imagination sometimes and go to the nines with it. Like, for example, I played the post person one day, and I went around my neighborhood with my little red wagon and collected everyone's mail, like over 100 people, and then came home and my mom was like, you have everybody's mail? What? And she was like freaking out. And then I had to go around the neighborhood and like give the mail back and apologize for taking their mail, like federal offense. So just thought that was kind of funny to share.
Interesting. I am not surprised. Yeah. Did you want to share anything else, Nina?
Just grateful. I'm grateful. This feels really good. I feel really happy.
You have another song for us?
I do.
Awesome.
I do. This one's called Light Shine. What can I control? What can I release? What can I let go? What do I really need? I've been running in circles. Now I'm ready to break free. 'Cause the way it's always been ain't how it's gonna be. No, 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 no. I'm painting new pictures and I'm adjusting my speed. I'm finding more reasons to be grateful for this life I lead. I'm singing new songs and I'm planting new seeds. No longer blocking all these blessings, manifest them, let them rain down on me. Hey, you know this life is long and it's so short at the same time. And before I'm dead and gone, I made a promise, God, I'm gonna let this light shine, light shine, light shine. Oh, na 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 na. Oh, na 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 na. Oh, na 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 na. Oh, na 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 na. Oh, na 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 na. Oh, na 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 na. Oh, na 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 na. Oh, na na na. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Yeah, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. We're gonna let it shine. Shine on, my friends. Shine on.
So check out all of Nina's music through the links that are in the chat.